Hi everyone, it's Ellie from Elsie Bell's Bookshelf again, and I am back with part 2 of the 4 journals for Mandy that I wanted to show. And so I'm going to show these two this time. I showed the poetry one and the watercolor one last time, and I just want to show you this profile of them together. They're so fat, and I just love them. So anyway, this is a journal based on the kits from Tracy Fox. Her shop is called Love Junk Journals. I love her ephemera digitals, and so does Mandy, so I decided to make a journal with them. And she liked this fabric, so I used that for the cover and one of the images and some lace, and I did stitching as well. Inside here is a botanical card with one of her ephemera pieces as the pocket. This is a tag from Paulette, and I also used some of Raspberry Road Designs digitals, vintage paper, that's Tracy's, scrapbook paper and book pages, the usual stuff. Grasshopper vellum. Here's the envelope, just a little scrap paper inside with, and I put some lined paper on this music sheets. This is from Cool Mom Book Boutique. Vintage playing card and a little fabric tab. Scrapbook paper. This is from that butterfly embroidery piece that I had that I made 2 journals out of, if you can remember, and so I just kept the scraps. Here's some coloring book page. This is a vintage book cover that I printed. Here's another one of Tracy's. Graph paper with stitching. This is some handmade paper from Digital Curio. There's a pocket. There's some graph paper. Here's another pocket with an altered tag. And it opens there. Here is some lined paper, and when I was coffee dyeing, some of it got on it like this, so I decided not to coffee dye this and just keep it. I like that look. Here's a tag, I just folded it over the page. Some nice thick paper for drawing. I think this might have been part of a freebie from Calico Collage, maybe. And some old ledger. A little purple envelope with a bird image on it. Fix that. Here's one of Tracy's images, and I just put one of these divider cards inside with some stitching. Makes a little tab. Oh, it's a belly band actually. Forgot about that. Alright, so it goes all the way through. Washi tape, lined paper. In the center, I put one of the ephemera pieces as like a middle page. There's some more as a little flip. Here's a pocket and a pocket. So this one I folded over a piece of scrapbook paper over the sides of the page and then just stitched, and so it made 2 pockets. Oh, I love this. The poppy is so pretty. And just a little, this from Cool Mom Book Boutique, I think. Here's another belly band, and I just put a piece of wallpaper in there that I got from Alicia, so she can write on the back of that or do whatever she wants with it. And this opens. Here's another journaling card I folded over with this little charm thingy do and some chain. And here's another piece of the embroidery piece. Just a fabric flip or lace flip. Another envelope from Tracy. This is from Lindsay Zenor from her Wisteria and Roses kit. I just had this left over, so I just made a tag and put it behind there as our pockets. Here's another one. Here's a piece of doily that Alicia had sent me. And it flips. Lots of interaction in this one. Here's a piece of gold foiled scrapbook paper. And another Tracy, and then just an altered, well, stitch guest check on the back. So then we have this one is just a botanical and floral and butterfly journal. I think she had said that she likes this fabric. I love this fabric. So she didn't give me a theme for this one, so I just went with it and with what I knew that she liked. So the front is lined with scrapbook paper, and I have this botanical image that was made in like the 15 or 1600s. Got that online. It's a botanicals. This is Old Design Shop, and underneath I have a piece of TLC Creates vintage paper scrap that had the word horticulture and stuff like that. Anyway, this is from Digital Curio. There's just a botanical that I printed pretty big. Some collaging. This is a vintage botanical book page. And this was supposed to be a flip, but I stitched it here, so I'll have to fix that. Or it could just be a pocket. But anyway, there's another pocket, and that opens. Coloring book page. I love this. I just bought Digital Curios, what was it? Butterfly Ephemera paper pack. So gorgeous. And this is a altered flash card. And a little piece of cardstock that I stamped on and ripped out and glued on this page. And there's some beads. There's a top tuck. And here's some more of that paper and some vintage ledger from TLC Creates Vintage. Book page. This flips up. Love this one. Here is some, this is the cover of a vintage music thing, pad. And this is pretty cool. I took some vintage gardening book that I had left over, like a piece of it, folded it in half and added a piece of a guest check, made that into a little pocket, and then put a few pieces of paper down here for journaling. So when it's over the side, you can see it's poking out a little bit. I like that. I'll put that on afterwards. Here's a little fabric flip. So you flip this one up and then you can flip this one up and do journaling underneath. Thought that was cute. Let's see, coloring book. This is an envelope that I altered and just put a piece of ephemera in there. Here is a little envelope I made out of Digital Curios botanical ephemera kits. And I am not like part of her team or anything. I just really love her stuff. So I put a little image in there with some stitching. And that goes here. Go a little faster. This is one of my journal cards from my shop, Botanical and Music. There's an index card. This is a floating pocket. A little pocket in the front of it, and some bead. And another one of my cards. And that opens there. Oh, and this is a little tough spots. And the other side of that envelope. Oh, this is gorgeous. And this opens as well. Here's another tag with some coloring book page and some laces and wallpaper. And then this is from one of the kits from Amy Joy Studios. I just had one of her pages left over, so I cut out this big flower and use it as a journaling card. And I think it looks pretty there. And this beautiful butterfly. This is the other side of that music cover thing. So I made a pocket, put a piece of yellow cardstock in there, and then a Project Life card there. And there's that pretty paper again. There's a little flip up receipt. Another pocket. There's another one of these, and I just backed that with notebook paper. That's a new thing I started. I saw someone do it, maybe Lindsay, and I like that. Here's a fabric ruffle, and this fabric is really cute. It's got little embroidered flowers on it, and I am making her journal out of this. The other side of that paper that I love, and in here I have some little scraps to journal on. So see, the other side should have flipped like this, so I'll fix that. Here's the index card with a botanical image. She can color that if she wants. Let's see, that opens to some notebook paper that opens like this, and behind it is a pocket with this tag. So that just clips together so that the notebook paper doesn't get all crumpled. And here's a fabric flip with some different fabric there at the top. This is the other side of that botanical page. This is a little leftover scrap from one of TLC Create's vintage kits. And on the back we have a glassine envelope with just another botanical inside. And this wants to stay closed for some reason. Anyway, so let's get all four together again. If you're interested in one or two of these similar to these ones, I would be more than happy to make you one. I do have a listing for custom order travelers notebooks. Look at that goodness. Ugh, just love it so much. So anyway, you can go and purchase that listing. Leave me a note in the notes to seller on the theme that you would love and any other requirements that you want. And I'd be happy to make you one. If you want to subscribe, I would love for you to and be a part of my family. And I do some journal flips, tutorials, hauls, things like that. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.